It is time for some USL Championship soccer. We come to you from the desert in Phoenix, Arizona, as Phoenix Rising returns home to take on the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. Tonight's match is presented by Equality Health. With Ricky Lopez-Espin, I'm Josh Eastern. Thanks so much for being with us. And a look at the Western Conference standings. Plenty of playoff implications in this one tonight. Based on the live standings, Phoenix has moved out of the playoff picture, but they are just 3 points off of Colorado Springs, who come in 6th spot tonight. It is time to take a look at tonight's Game Changers, presented by Hope High School Online, changing the game of education. And Panos Armanakis has really changed the attack for good.
And we talked to Juan Guerra, and he says, look, you bring him in, and he gives you the ability to stretch the game from a deep blank position. He can beat you 1v1. He can beat you through combination play. Panos Armanakis, you want him on the ball early and often, asking questions of the Switchbacks here tonight.
And on the other side for the Switchbacks, Juan Tejada, recently acquired. He's going to have big shoes to fill tonight.
Just energy, quality in that final third, especially the ability to join the attack as he sees fit. He's going to start out on the wide area, so how quickly can he get on the ball? How quickly can he get in form? Because he's going to be massive for Stephen Hogan if they have any sort of hope to take all 3 points back to Colorado Springs.
Well, both these teams have been pretty streaky as of late. It was a big losing streak, then a couple of wins, but last time out for Colorado Springs, a big-time loss.
And I think you'd start with the Phoenix Rising last week off, so you ask Juan Guerra, yes, we had that week off, but we didn't want that week off, especially after that loss at Miami. So what does the first 15 minutes look like for Phoenix Rising and for Switchbacks? You're looking for reaction. You lose 5-0 at home against San Diego Loyal, so what does they look like in terms of their motivation and their mentality coming out of the break?
We are building you up to first kick tonight. It's a big one with playoff implications, even though we're still in July. We'll have lineups in first kick coming up next, as tonight's Christmas in July match is presented by Good Humor.
Equality Health is giving doctors more time to be doctors, so they can give you the care you deserve. Ask if your doctor is part of the Equality Health Network today. Equality Health. Caring is back.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a year old or a few years old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana, enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
Sanderson Ford gives back. They support local sports.
They support local businesses, restaurants, and music.
Y organizaciones en nuestra comunidad latina.
My favorite event is Operation Santa Claus.
And mine is the Cave Creek Rodeo.
I love participating in the Guardian Games with my son Evan for Special Olympics Arizona.
Your business has allowed Sanderson Charities to give back to all these local charities. We've been paying it forward for 68 years. Thank you.
Join Arizona's only professional soccer club as it goes head-to-head with San Antonio FC at the team's new home. Visit phxrisingfc.com or call 623-594-9606 for ticket information.
Tonight's broadcast of Phoenix Rising FC is presented by Equality Health. Carvana will drive you happy, and by NAU Nationwide. Looking at tonight's starting lineups, let's take a look at Juan Guerra's side. It features 3 changes and the return of Kevin Lambert.
I think you have to look at that front line. Arteaga, he's going to stay high. He's going to occupy the 2 center backs. So what does a movement underneath him look like? Armanakis and Trejo. Trejo has the ability to stretch and go in beyond. But how quickly can Anguiano and Zambrano get on the ball, move the ball from left to right? And if you're Juan Guerra, fluidity and confidence is going to be key here today at home.
And on the other side for Stephen Hogan and the Colorado Springs Switchbacks, after that 5-0 loss, how about 5 changes as well?
And you look centrally. Speedy Williams, he's going to sit right in front of that back four. Jay Chapman, Jairo Enriquez, what does that relationship look like? Jay Chapman, by trait, he's going to drop a bit deeper, so Enriquez is going to play as at number 10, foster the ability to stretch and get in behind this back line of Phoenix Rising. Tejada and Fieldberg getting involved as they see fit in that final third. So Stephen Hogan, again, the first 10 to 15 minutes, try to get comfortable, trying to get in rhythm and weather the storm here today on the road.
Well, let's see what this side can bring tonight. And as the sun is setting, let's take a look at the Spooner availability report. Babu Karjai remains out. Zandy, Ockford, and Lacroix are all out, along with Romario Williams, the team's leading goal scorer, 8 goals, 2 assists this year. The red card he picked up last week in the 15th minute sees him out for this one tonight. That's big shoes to fill for the Switchbacks here tonight. Well, an important one here between these two sides tonight. Of course, both these teams just 3 points apart in the standings, with Phoenix Rising on 25 points, the Switchbacks on 28 points. And it's going to be interesting how this one plays out tonight, just because there's so much online. There's so many teams within these two as well in the standings.
And also you throw in Juan Guerra and Stephen Hogan getting their license together as head coaches. So understanding the tendencies in the relationships, formations, how they want to play. So again, it's going to be very interesting, yes, as you walk across the white line, tactically how this game watches.
Well, these are the live standings, and we mentioned all the teams in between Phoenix and Colorado Springs. Some interesting results already tonight in the USL Championship. Right now, New Mexico United 3-0 up over Sac Republic. Orange County 4-3. They came back to win that game with an 86-minute winner over Memphis. A lot of moving and shaking tonight in the league.
This is going to be massive, Josh, especially coming off a loss for both of these sides. Phoenix Rising 2-1 at Miami. Colorado Springs 5-0 against San Diego Loyal. So what does that look like in terms of the reaction and the motivation factor for both of these sides?
Handshakes between both sides tonight, and with the referee, it is Kalin Radosov. He is the man in the middle tonight. Captains come to the middle as well. Matt Mahoney for the Switchbacks, and right back into the lineup, it's Kevin Lambert. Juan Guerra saying they want to use some of that momentum that he gained. He was pretty much a day one starter in the Gold Cup with Jamaica, starting alongside all those Premier League players that Jamaica has brought over as well, and trying to build off of that, coming back into his league form. On the other side, there's a look at Speedy Williams there, number 80. He will make his 199th regular season appearance tonight for the Colorado Springs Switchbacks in the USL Championship.
I think, Josh, if you look at all the player profiles for this Colorado Springs Switchbacks, you talked about the inability to have Romario Williams due to red cards to Foster, so it's going to be a completely different look going forward. He's going to have and stretch this back line. Kevin Lambert, yes, we talked about the ability to cover ground defensively for him, but it's going to be a big challenge of when to step into that middle third and clog passing lanes, because the Switchbacks, they want to create overload between Chapman, Henriquez, and Williams. So again, that middle part between the lines for Phoenix Rising is going to be key in terms of their when to step in, the rotation, and the coverage for the players around Kevin Lambert.
Stephen Hogan said on the Switchback side, of course, Phoenix wants to keep the ball as much as they can, but in this heat, it's hot. We're going to mention that just off the top here, but it is triple digits, and he said we need to keep them off the ball, and we need to keep the ball. That's going to be key tonight.
Just try to make the opponent run from left to right and open up gaps, and as those gaps open up, how quickly can you penetrate between lines? So I think the first 10 minutes is going to be very telling to see who can get in rhythm quicker and who can really impose their identity on the opposition.
Looks like we are just about set to go here tonight now. Kalin Radosov will set his watch. We can get this one underway. Beginning of a busy week for Phoenix Rising, but first things first, it is taking on the Colorado Springs Switchbacks. There's the whistle, and almost away we go. Now we go from Phoenix, Arizona. Rising and the Switchbacks tonight from Phoenix Rising Stadium at 38th Street in Washington. Of course, both these teams coming off disappointing losses, and as you mentioned, Ricky, in the open with Juan Gary said we didn't really want to take a break. They did have a week off in between the road loss at Miami and this one here tonight. He said it was a good chance to reflect, look back on the first part of the season. He said the first meeting we had was January 19th, long time ago. So there's been a lot of time to reflect. They got to go over their goals again for the season, see where they're at. He says, we're not in a bad spot. We're not necessarily in a great spot either, but there's a lot of room to grow for this team.
I think if you're Juan Garrett, the number one thing you're looking for is consistency in a multitude of different ways. Watch out here.
Gallardo may have taken a knock here early on. The referee will stop play. Deemed it to be clean, no foul. You can hear it on the mics. Why would he go down and be injured if he wasn't clipped? Looks like it'll just be a drop ball. It will go the way of the Switchbacks.
Really interesting start here for Phoenix Rising. You talk about fluidity on that front line. Armanakis, he's going to come centrally, so that's going to leave a lot of real estate for that young man to get around the corner. And he's someone that Juan Gary has very high value on. He gets a lot of joy in giving assists as a winger, and he also brings quality to be able to pick out a pass, pick up his head, and see the movement of Arteaga and Trejos. So he's going to be an outlet on this near side for this home side.
On the other side for the Switchback, Stephen Hogan saying this week, he said, game against San Diego, just disappointing all over. It was an unfortunate beginning. They conceded in the first minute and the 9th minute. Then they had a man sent off for Mario Williams in the 15th minute. And he said, we watched it, we went over it, but it's time to move on. Need to move on, just too many mistakes from that game. It was the previous two games in which they won by a combined score of 6-0. And two really good results against quality opposition, both at home, 4-0 against Monterey Bay, 2-0 against Miami. He said if we can bottle up what we did against Monterey Bay, that is what we're aiming for week in and week out.
They were just terrific from front to back. How compact can they be defensively from Malik Foster into Agran and Musa as the two center backs, but also the ability to express himself in that final third was so impressive against Monterey Bay. And that's going to be the challenge for Stephen Hogan to see how can they get back to that free-flowing fluidity in the attacking phase of their game.
That was interesting. When Joma tried to play it off his chest, the referee initially said it was off his chest, but he must have gotten word there from the AR that did in fact come off his hand. And we play on. There's a touch there, bottom of your screen, number 41, James Musa. Of course, all of his time with Phoenix Rising, 2018, 2019, and in the last two seasons as well. This return of sorts here to Phoenix, now wearing opposition colors. Switchbacks will work this all the way upfield. It's Malik Foster. Backheel will put that into the corner. The cross bouncing in, Crutzen. Can't be saved there by Rios Novo. It's the game's first corner kick, and it comes for the Switchbacks.
What I'm noticing right now is I'm playing with my ND filter, and I'm going...
As Foster makes this run from centrally out to the wide area, there needs to be a secondary action, whether it's Fieldberg, whether it's Tejada, to get themselves in a central location inside that 18-yard box. Crutzen does very well in terms of his positioning, just to put it out for a corner kick, and brilliant opportunity for the visitors here.
Enriquez, another one of those players featuring in the Gold Cup, played for El Salvador. The outswinger comes in, the header is on but wide. Great opportunity from the set piece. With Skundrich up for it.
Nervy moments for Phoenix Rising, losing their individual mark If you're Skundrich, you rise up about 7 yards out. This needs to be on target. You need to start asking questions of Rios Novo. I think set pieces are going to play a really important part throughout this 90 minutes.
There's Rios Novo stepping in. Interesting. One of the big talking points was the change in formation as this ball is played up over the top. Trejo will try to turn it back. One of the big talking points was what the formation would be. Of course, when Kevin Lambert went on international duty, Phoenix changed to a 4-back, something we hadn't seen from a Juan Guerra side in his tenure with Phoenix as this ball roll out for a throw-in. Weren't exactly sure what it was going to be, maybe a 3, maybe a 4th and coming back, but Juan Guerra telling us this week that he wanted to see what Lambert was like in a 4. He hasn't really played there much in the past, but getting an opportunity there tonight as you look at Juan Guerra. Always so well dressed in the technical area, right, Ricky? But it looks like they have in fact put in a 4-back in place here tonight.
It's a 4-2-3-1. You have Anguiano, you have Zambrano as a double anchor right in front of that back 4. So Carlos Armenac is playing as a withdrawn number 10 underneath Arteaga and Danny Trejo.
Cross comes in, just too much there from Gallardo. Trying to pick out Arteaga in the middle.
So just by Trey, Danny Trejo is going to come centrally. So you're going to see a lot of Traore getting around the corner as sort of a wing back slash outside back position. But that's something that, if you're Juan Guerra, the fluidity to float in and out of 3 or 4 back, to commit numbers forward, it's going to ask a lot of questions to test the shape of the Switchbacks back line.
There's Carlos Anguiano on the ball. His first start since the 2-0 loss against Tampa Bay all the way back in the first weekend of May. He made 2 straight starts, the 3-1 win against Loudoun and then that loss against Tampa Bay. He's only made 5 appearances this season, but getting a chance here tonight right from the start as this cross is fired in. Gallardo on the chase, and he'll keep it in. Gallardo couldn't quite turn the corner, but he does win it back, or so he thought. A foul as Musa was cut down. Looks like Gallardo feeling the effects of it as well.
It's a nice little battle we have between Gallardo and Musa on this near side. Musa very good defending, not losing his feet, not leaving his feet, excuse me. And as Gallardo gets his foot caught in the cookie jar, takes a lot of James Musa there. I think it's going to be a big challenge for the center back for Colorado Springs. James Musa picking and choosing his times when to shift out. Skundrich is going to step high. He's going to put a lot of pressure on Manjoma. Some decision making, especially for the 2 center backs of the Switchbacks, there need to be key here today.
Long downfield by Joe Kuzminski, who also makes the first start in quite some time. He'd only made 1 start so far this season coming into play here tonight. He started the game at Charleston, which of course he spent so much time in his career with the Battery. So just his 2nd start for the Switchbacks. It's mostly been Christian Herrera getting the start in goal. Quick word between Malik Foster, Kilian Radosov. Back to it.
It goes up. They zoom in, it goes in, which means it's not a...
Here's Manjoma.
Because I'm on, and the other thing you'll notice is between...
And now Lambert.
1 quarter, nothing happens. So it's still on a corner.
Rutson, who has again been a stalwart on the back line for Phoenix so far this season.
What happens if we got auto on that?
It fucking kicks it wide open.
Does it change at all?
Here's Rios Novo.
Now you work it.
Phoenix looking to build once again. This is something that Stephen Hogan said we don't want to do a lot of chasing tonight. This is played over the top. Just losing his footing there was Traore. Throwing back to the Switchbacks. Here's Kuzminski. Loaded downfield, looking for Juan Tejada. And that's a giveaway. Anguiano gave it right away. Chance to maybe catch Rios Novo off his line. Whoa, what an effort that was. Jairo Enriquez trying his luck from way downtown.
Plethora of options for Enriquez as he picks up his head. This run from Malik Foster is just so good. As it pulls out, Kevin Lambert opens up a passing lane for Speedy Williams to come across. Enriquez says, I see you, I don't need you. A wicked shot with a lot of movement, a lot of dip on it. Fortunate for Rio Novo, the ball goes up but does not come down.
Would have been an absolute screamer from Jairo Enriquez. Some pressure here on Kuzminski, and he gets it away.
It's a bit of a warning sign for Phoenix Rising. If you're not clean, especially centrally, how quickly the switchback side can turn this thing into a track meet with the willing runners on the front line. So if you're Zambrano and Anguiano, decision making, try to break lines between your passing, just the movements between the two need to be a bit better 12 minutes in.
It's interesting when you look at both lineups. Of course, 3 changes for Phoenix tonight, maybe to be expected with a 3-game week upcoming. But for Colorado Springs, it felt like Stephen Hogan had to make some changes, of course, at striker with Romario Williams, but you lose 5-0, something's probably got to change, and he shook it up a little bit. No, their next game will be at San Diego, so they get to face the team they lost 5-0 against right away. This is swept clear. Krutzen chipping this into space. Skundrich trying to cover it. He does cut it out. Out for a Phoenix throw-in.
It's exactly that movement I've talked about, Josh. As Trejo comes centrally, but also pops into that hole into feet. So you're always going to go around the corner and try to stretch and get himself in that final third, but give credit to Skundrich. Decision making, the positioning was right on there.
Krutzen to roll it through the lines. Instead, it rolls right to the feet of Kuzminski. Musa caught on the ball. Here's Gallardo. Anguiano. Zambrano quickly moving it. Trejo, he couldn't keep it. And maybe a chance to counter. Here's Malik Foster. As Phoenix are able to get bodies back behind the ball. Long switch of play. Doesn't quite come to be. Trejo is in an offside position. Tejada on the turn, Musa. And right through the back of Gallardo. That's been an interesting matchup so far, those two. Musa, of course, former Phoenix Rising product, and 3 New Zealand caps as well, and there will be a hydration break here very early on. That is to be expected, of course, because of the temperature. It's an interesting start, though, between these two sides. Phoenix, maybe a few of the better opportunities, at least through build-up.
It's more comfortable on the ball, Phoenix Rising at the moment. But again, doing very well getting themselves into that final third. But what they do once they join around that 18-yard box is going to be the question to be answered for Juan Guerra's side. You need to get Arteaga involved just a tiny bit more. Has been extremely quiet 16 minutes in. On the other side, for Stephen Hogan, you're just looking for possession, confidence, especially centrally, moving the ball from left to right. The relationship between Speedy Williams and Jay Chapman Henriquez needs to be a bit better for the visitors here.
Phoenix Children's is expanding across the valley so we can all grow healthier together. Learn more at phoenixchildrens.org. Getting back to it. Free kick here for Phoenix Rising. And with the hydration break being so early in the half, I wonder if we might get 2 in this half. We'll see how it plays out. Here's Gallardo. Field Manjoma. Something Juan Guerra talked about, at least with the formation, is ability to be very flexible, whether they want to move between a 4-back and a 3-back, maybe even as the game goes on. So they're comfortable now playing both. We saw the lineup with Traore in there. We thought maybe that could be 3 center backs, but looks like he is playing more as a wing back or a full back. Gonna play this through. Musa there to cut it out. Phoenix will get right back on it with Crutzen.
It's interesting, Josh. You look at this back four for Juan Guerra, but it's always on the strong side. Juan Guerra gives the ability.
Coming in field, looking to play that ahead for Trejo, and Speedy Williams stepped in.
He always gives the ability to the outside back to step higher, so they build that in a 3-back. So whether it's Manjoma, whether it's Traore on that far side, you're going to see them, whether they come centrally and then it's Gallardo or Trejo to provide the width, or vice versa. Gallardo comes either into the interior, Manjoma stays wide on the far side, the same type of movements. So yes, they start with the 4-back, but also in terms of their possession, going to a 3-back.
Slick move on the far side. Trejo cuts it in. The extra pass and the shot put in by Anguiano wide.
Danny Trejo does very well. Requires so much attention, giving that extra pass like you mentioned, but if you're Anguiano, this strike needs to come with your left foot. It's a very difficult angle to let this come across your body. You don't have the time and space. Speedy Williams steps off his line. You open up your hips and just rope it and maybe clip it into the back post. Good things can happen.
Couldn't keep it in the middle, but was fouled for his troubles. Referee just hold things for a moment as Henriquez gets back to his feet. Henriquez, who had played in El Salvador since 2010, before coming over about midway through last season. There's Malik Foster as this comes in the middle and taken in by Rocco Rios Novo.
Great ball.
Looking to play this in behind, a great first touch as well, but it might be all for naught. Trejo offside now for the 2nd time tonight. Crutzen for Phoenix, 20 minutes gone tonight.
just see how compact the Switchbacks are sitting 20, 25 yards from front to back, keeping everything in front of you. So you need a bit more movement if you're Wangari and Phoenix Rising just to pull out, whether it is an Agrin or Mahoney, the two center backs for the Switchbacks, to open up gaps. And as those gaps open up, there needs to be secondary movements. Ball needs to move a bit quicker and more decisive. Balls like this are far too easy for this back four.
Skundrich trying to connect with Kuzminski, and it's out for a corner. But let's go back to that offside call. They've been a bit closer.
Yeah, as you have Zambriano just picks up his head. Top of your screen, you're going to see Danny Trejo. He seems onside to me. That's after the ball's kicked, right in line with Agrin there. It gets called offside. I think Colorado Springs Switchbacks get away with one. Argument is Danny Trejo's clearly onside at that far end.
This corner kick brought to you by Carvana, proud sponsor of Phoenix Rising. Carvana will drive you happy. The in-swinger whipped in, flicked along, but just wide. Crutzen looking for that near post header, and just eluding the near post.
And it's such a vital run, especially on corner kicks, because it pulls out a center back, but if you can get on the end of it, you need to help it in to that far post, and good things can happen. Crutzen so unlucky not to get it on target.
Tiaga bearing down on Kuzminski, and he just gets it away. Shove in the back. It's enough for a free kick going Phoenix's way. Here's Anguiano. Out wide, Manjoma. Manjoma battling with Tejada. He's able to keep it for Phoenix. Traore lofting it in. Gallardo got up for that. Arteaga on the chase. Agrin all the way back for Kuzminski, who sweeps it out of play. This portion of the match brought to you by Modelo, a reward for those with a fighting spirit. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. Here's Gallardo. All the way to the end line, got the cross in. Second ball falls for Anguiano. Zambrano keeps it moving. Trejo and Traore on the overlap. Zambrano maybe wanted to step into that shot, instead it rolls all the way through. Manjoma. Armanakis now flicks it down the line. Gallardo, the cross, headed right into the air. It's still available. Foster keeps it moving. Right now, the Switchbacks totally pinned in.
11 players in their own defensive half. So hard to break down, but when you get moments like that, if you're Gallardo, pick up your head and just whip a ball into a dangerous area, there needs to be better movement. We talked about moments ago, Crutzen make that near post run. There's a lack of a near post run in that instance, especially when the back four just positionally right on top of that 6-yard box. How do you get them? How do you unbalance them? And that's going to be the question for Phoenix Rising as this half progresses. It seems like the Switchbacks are very content just sitting on top of that 18-yard box.
Here's Armanakis. Manjoma. Manjoma shaking the hips, keeps going. Manjoma, and it's saved. It looked like that was the center back sliding in to clear that away. Oscar Agrin may have been the man.
A little bit of individual brilliance and luck, yes, but give credit to Agrin as Mahoney's a bit soft in that 50-50 challenge. Give credit to Manjoma, a little drop of the shoulder. Last-ditch defending effort to come across and deny Manjoma the opening goal here. Terrific individual defending.
Swedish center back coming up big. And now it's another Carvana corner kick for Phoenix Rising. A roll to the top of the air. They let it run through. The shot through traffic blocked. Second one blocked as well. And this has to be punched over. Kuzminski taking no chances with Trejo right there. And they'll do it again. Another Carvana corner.
Just straight off the training ground. Not one dummy, but two dummies. And then it's just nervy moments for Kuzminski to see it go up and over the crossbar.
Armanakis to deliver. More depth on this. Nothing doing for Phoenix. It'll bounce out, but it's a throw-in. The way back to Rios Novo, cool as you like. See him pop up well off his line many times throughout a game. We've seen it so far tonight quite a few times. Lambert connecting with Trejo. Trejo for Gallardo. Here's Gallardo to the end line. It's whipped in towards the near post. Foster trying to carry this out for the Switchbacks, but it's been pretty much a one-man show up top, and now Anguiano gets stuck into a challenge, and he has his name taken. It's Tejada who's down, and now Foster has gone down as well.
Really good work here from Malik Foster just to be that single outlet after underneath a lot of pressure. As his ball pops out, Anguiano comes in a bit rash, takes out Tejada. Look at that secondary leg that catches him in trouble. Now, 28 minutes in on the yellow card. A lot of possession, but transition moments for the Switchbacks. Big challenge for Carlos Anguiano in terms of his decision-making and his positioning.
Trying to switch the point of attack. Here come the Switchbacks as this is rolled in behind. It's not quite the pass they were looking for. Traore is able to keep it. Get a throw-in out of it. Pre-game with Raising Cane's, proud supporter of Phoenix Rising. Skip the line and order on our easy mobile app for your order of premium, fresh, hand-breaded chicken fingers, special sauce, and don't forget to add our fresh hand-squeezed lemonade at order.raisingcanes.com. Looks like it did come off Monjoma's hand. It's a throw-in going, pardon me, a free kick rather, going the way of the Switchbacks.
When things aren't clicking for you through the run of play, under a lot of pressure at the moment. Question is where's that foul there in Monjoma? Set pieces are a brilliant way now for the Switchbacks to claw themselves back. Looking for quality here from Henriquez. You're aiming for right on top of that 6-yard box between that penalty mark to ask questions and cause chaos between Rios Novo and his back line.
Henriquez is ready to the top of the area and swept in again and cleared into the air. Chapman was waiting for it. Now it's put out of play. Elmberg couldn't get onto it either. How about a final score from San Antonio? Miami has won that game by 1-0. It's got to be one of their best wins of the season. They were outshot 22-8 by San Antonio, still able to come up with the victory. Just 5 shots on target for San Antonio. Any given week, Ricky.
It's Miami side. They beat Phoenix Rising. They tied Charleston at the death. Now they go into San Antonio. Maybe things are flipping in their favor. It's a massive result for a team that desperately needs it.
I know we're looking at 2 teams in the West, but the East is also pretty interesting. Miami now just 3 points off of Detroit City in 8th, who were able to get a 1-0 win over Monterey Bay tonight. That's an interesting result for Western Conference folks. As Juan Guerra mentioned to us this week, just at the halfway point, there's still a long way to go in this season. The last day of the season is the next time that these 2 teams will meet in Colorado Springs. Enriquez playing this right through the middle, just a bit too much on it. Tough angle as Rios Novo collects.
If you give the Switchback side time and space to play between lines, they can hurt you in so many different ways. So as Arteaga and Danny Trejo go, the midfield line for Phoenix Rising needs to go with them too many times. There's about 10, 15 yards between the front line, that midfield line, and you just see how good and how comfortable the Switchbacks are between Jay Chapman and Echeverria. Ball a bit too heavy for Tejada on the end of it. A bit of a warning sign for the Switchbacks to say, yeah, we can play, especially between lines.
Gallardo to play this into the corner. Armanakis had to step over it as Speedy Williams stepped in. Here comes Skundrich. Tejada. Again, moved off to the far side. Fjellberg trying to bring this with them to the end line, tries to cut it back. The flick took it out of the path of the run of Skundrich. Right back into the play is Agron, center back stepping forward, and he'll win it back for the Switchbacks. Juan Tejada flips it over the top. Skundrich looks like he'll get a corner kick out of it. Very active in the attack is Drew Skundrich.
But as this half has progressed, you just start to see the confidence for the Switchbacks. Little triangles popping up all over the field, whether it is Speedy Williams, Jay Chapman, Skundrich, Enriquez. Really good pocket of space, the underlapping run. Cruton understands if I just step off and close down that angle, put it out for a corner kick. Stephen Hogan has to be very pleased with his boys. 34 minutes in, defensively very sound. Their transition moments have been lethal.
Corners whipped in, Lambert there, commanding header to clear. Switch of play. Musa keeps it in for Tejada. Tejada rolls it forward. Fjellberg couldn't bring it with him. Chapman recovers. Gugliano, another giveaway. Slide this forward. Fjellberg kept himself onside. Deflected cross. Lambert steers it away. It's a good spell here for the Switchbacks. Speedy Williams. Little flick, put it right back into Williams' path. And this one sliced out of play. Switchbacks, great opportunity. And a hydration break will be coming, but let's look at that again.
If you're Armanakis, there's no need to try to be acute, especially so deep in your final third. Speedy Williams uses the momentum to his favor. Little drop of the shoulder sends Manjoma packing, but his balance is all off. You need to get the hips right on top on target, but as he's falling away, that's why you see go wayward. Colorado Springs Switchbacks getting on the ball a bit more and asking more questions than the Phoenix Rising in the last 10 minutes.
It's the second hydration break of this first 45 minutes. Both teams a chance to cool off. It gives us a chance to tell you that it's 90s night at Rising's next match at 38th Street in Washington versus San Antonio FC on Saturday, August 5th. Be one of the first 2,000 fans through the gates. Receive a free clear fanny pack courtesy of Carvana. Tickets for the match start at $25. For more information, visit phxrisingfc.com or call 623-594-9606. They're getting started with 90s Night a little bit early with the music in the venue tonight.
You a big dancer?
I don't think that's the word I would use.
Hey, you had some rhythm. I've seen it.
Okay. These fans do whatever they can to stay cool. We're allowed 2 water bottles to come in tonight. They're handing away koozies as well for Christmas in July to keep those drinks cool. Gotta hydrate. Some of these fans got fans as well. The young ones are out for it as well. Taking in some action tonight. See an old USA soccer jersey there in the back. I love going to games in the United States. Such a variety of kits. You see the popular Premier League kits, but then you also see some really good ones as well.
In fact, I don't think I have one soccer jersey.
Have you kept any of your own?
Of my own, yeah,
Okay.
but not. There's an RSL one right there.
Former RSL
There you
striker
go.
Ricky Lopez Espin. You know what trumps all, of course, the Phoenix Rising kits. And everybody, not everyone, a lot have them, including the young ones right there.
That's a nice one. White one.
From years past. I don't know, I like the stripes this year, the black and the red. It's a
Nice,
good look.
those are nice.
It's a good look. Of course, an Argentina jersey as well in there. How about PSG? We got it all rep tonight in Phoenix as we're back to action. Still looking for that first goal tonight. This game has come in waves, it seems. Phoenix has had some good chances, but Switchbacks just had a really good couple of minutes, putting some pressure on this Phoenix back line. This one floating out of play, too tall for Gallardo. Stephen Hogan looking on. And right now they're just that little inch off. Mistakes in a few games have cost them some draws. It's interesting. 9 wins, 10 losses, 1 draw. As Juan Guerra said, it's kind of up or down for them. It's all or nothing. And thinking maybe a few more words. Stephen Hogan has sort of said the same thing, where they're still looking for that consistency. Or if they don't have it, probably going to lose. If they do have it, though, on their day, they can be a very good team. That's why they come into this game right in the middle of the Western Conference playoff picture. With everything so close, you got to bring it every week in this league. There's Gallardo. The give and go with Arteaga. Haven't called his name a whole lot tonight. 10 goals, co-Golden Boot leader in the league. It's been quiet so far.
I mentioned that earlier, Josh. I think he needs to get more involved, just be a focal point to play off of. He stays high, but a lot of decision-making on Agron and Mahoney went to step off into that middle third, but also we just went to drop off. If you get him confident around that 18-yard box, it's a whole different animal going forward for Phoenix Rising, but he's needs service.
Gallardo, too much on the cross, but it'll go all the way to the other side. Armenakis. Guiano. This is floated in. Tiaga trying to attack it. touch by Lambert to pluck that down.
Again, you just see 11 players in their own defensive half for the Switchbacks. The lack of movement on the front line for Phoenix Rising needs to be a bit better. Yes, you have Monjoma come centrally. Gallardo needs to be a bit more decisive when he gets to that final third on the edges. Yes, Mahoney and Agron, it's been so easy for them just to move from left to right. Everything has been in front of them. I've seen you pick up, Josh. You know, you spin in behind. It's a defender's worst nightmare to face their own goal. When mistakes happen. So if you're Juan Gary, you're going to want a bit more breaking lines and darting little runs.
Armanakis, Joma trying to return it. Agron there to cut it out. Enriquez battling there, and a yellow card will go to Renzo Zambrano. There's really no hesitation there from the referee. Second Phoenix Rising player booked in both of those deep-lying midfielders.
I think the argument from the referees is it's a transition moment. It's a lot of holding up their jersey. It's a harsh yellow card, though. Now you have Anguiano and Zambrano, the two players in the center of the park for Phoenix Rising on a yellow card. You have to be aware of that. If you're Jay Chapman, Jairo Enriquez, and Speedy Williams, you play around them and you make them make decisions, put them in very tricky situations. Try to get any sort of advantage that you can.
And for Renzo Zambrano, that is yellow card number 8, which means he will miss that game against Sacramento as Tejada steps in and wins it back. Juan Tejada, and he scores! It's a brilliant curling effort from Juan Tejada. That's what they've been looking for from the Panamanian, and the Switchbacks lead in Phoenix.
Picking and choosing your times when to play out of the back, but there's no pressure from the Switchbacks. Sloppy from Crutzen, he comes across, but we talked about Tejada in the open. You go out and get him, and he gives you work rate, he gives you quality, and he gives you the ability to produce a little bit of individual brilliance. That second phase, a little drop of the shoulder as Anguiano bites, creates a real estate by his own, and watch the hips. Last-ditch defending effort as he closes them at the last moment. And it's off to the corner to celebrate. Against the run of play, yes. Switchbacks get their goal. They will not care in the 43rd minute.
That is his 3rd goal all season long. It is his 2nd goal in a Colorado Springs shirt. We talked to Stephen Hogan this week. He said we've liked him for a while, and it was really a no-brainer. He said even when Brendan Burke was in charge, it was somebody that they had their eyes on in Colorado Springs. He said he just needs a little guidance and love and some time on the field. And they're giving him some time, and with their big striker out, suspended for this game, Tejada steps up. We mentioned him in the open, and he makes us look smart here tonight with a great goal.
Just fantastic. To create your own space as an attacking player is just so important. As Anguiano comes in, he understands there's slow rotation after him, and there's someone to play off of his shoulder. That long touch, probably 18-yard box, and take nothing away from that quality finish.
Carvana corner kick. This is headed away. Still a chance here. They'll do it again. Another Carvana corner kick for Phoenix as now they look to chase this game. Colorado Springs with the 2nd worst road form in the West. Just 9 points and only 1 point better than last place Las Vegas in the West. 3-7 is their record overall. Gallardo, chance to serve this in again. Couldn't get it by the first man. Maybe a bit of a surprise for what they're doing here tonight. They also haven't won in Phoenix since 2016. Zambrano flips it forward. Arteaga didn't know where it went. It's in the hands of Kuzminski now. When wellness for mind and body is the goal, Day One sparkling water and CBD is always a win-win. With 20 milligrams of CBD, real fruit juice, zero sugar, and refreshing effervescence. Score yours at the concession stand today. Your better tomorrow starts today with Day One. There's 4 minutes of stoppage time added on at the end of this first half. No wins this year. They have conceded first 5 losses and 4 draws. Colorado Springs has avoided defeat in their last 17 when they score the opener. They're trying to catch Rios Novo off his line yet again. 0 for 2 so far, the Switchbacks.
You have to love the audacity. Always know where the goalkeeper is. Pick up your head. If you have the quality, you look like a genius on the back of the net.
We mentioned he likes to step up quite a bit, and I'm sure that's in the scouting report of every team that takes on Phoenix, something to look out for. Foul, and a free kick will go the way of Rising.
I think if you're Juan Guerra and the Phoenix Rising, the decisions just need to be a bit better in terms of the balls that you're trying to play. Yes, you have willing runners to stretch the field, but that doesn't mean you play that ball in behind. Switchbacks are sitting into mid to low block. There's no real estate to play between them and Kuzminski. So you need to have quick, clean.
Manaka sends it forward. It's headed away and out for a throw-in. Traore, driven ball in. That's not going to get it done.
Exactly what I'm talking about. If you can just connect passes, then you draw out. Whether it is this Billy Williams, opens up a gap. That's how you can hurt this mid to low block. But if you just play a direct ball, deep line position, it's right into the hands of this back line for the Switchbacks.
Foul coming from behind. That goal coming at a very interesting time, right before halftime. Felt like Phoenix had this game in control. Giveaway, though, leads to a goal. Too much on the pass. Juan Guerra said that he'd have to make some tough decisions this week. First time this whole season, they have only had 1 player out injured. Babu Karjai misses tonight, so he said 2 players would just be the odd men out tonight and not make the bench. Uzo and Jose Hernandez, those 2. He says, I guess it's a good problem to have when you have to make those tough decisions, but it doesn't make him sleep any easier when he does have to make those decisions, as Kuzminski just puts this straight out of play. He knew that would be the case, Juan Guerra, coming into this season, bringing in so many new players. It would take time. Injuries set them back a bit. They have some ground to make up now. And it is a foul on Zambrano. This could be in prime real estate for a set-piece opportunity here right before halftime.
Just pushes the issue, gets a better body position of Henriquez. See the extension of that left arm. Makes the most of it, Zambrano. And like you said, Josh, as his ball popped out, Arteaga picked it up. Says, this is mine. A confident goal scorer. Comfortable distance to go up and over the wall underneath the crossbar and test Kuzminski, who's been widely untested 50 minutes in.
Brunson has a wicked left foot as well. Well, Arteaga, though, might fancy himself. This is Manuel Arteaga. It's right into the wall, and that is the last action of the first half. Well, Phoenix had this in control, but the Switchbacks have stolen a goal right before halftime. Juan Tejada has the Switchbacks leading by a goal to nil.
I think if you're Stephen Hogan, you have to be so pleased with how your game plan has been executed. Defensively, so stout, so compact, keeping everything in front of you, trying to catch them in transition moments. For Phoenix Rising, needs to be cleaner, especially in that final third. Decision making, ball execution, ball circulation hasn't been good enough for the home side. So it's going to be interesting this next 45 minutes.
We have hit halftime here from Phoenix Rising Stadium at 38th Street in Washington. An important second half coming up for Phoenix. And the Switchbacks steal one on the road. It's halftime from the desert. The Switchbacks lead it by a goal to nil.
Who do you want to be? Where do you want to go? How fast do you want to get there? At Gateway Community College, you can achieve a career that takes you places in less time and for less money. Opportunity is not just for the select few. Living better is for everyone. Let us help you discover your future.
Rising fans, spring is in the air and Circle K has what you thirst for. Stay cool with our famous Polar Pop Cups that stay cold longer. Fill your cup with your favorite flavor or mix it up to create your own. Or try our freshly ground iced coffee starting at just $1.89. While you're here, mix and match any 2 roller grill items, just 2 for $4. Check out these hot deals and cool down at Circle K, America's thirst stop and proud sponsor of Phoenix Rising.
Sanderson Ford gives back. They support local sports.
They support local businesses, restaurants, and music.
Y organizaciones en nuestra comunidad latina.
My favorite event is Operation Santa Claus.
And mine is the Cave Creek Rodeo.
I love participating in the Guardian Games with my son Evan for Special Olympics Arizona.
Your business has allowed Sanderson Charities to give back to all these local charities. We've been paying it forward for 68 years. Thank you.
Equality Health is giving doctors more time to be doctors, so they can give you the care you deserve. Ask if your doctor is part of the Equality Health Network today. Equality Health. Caring is back.
Not sure exactly what this game is, but trying to get something into a cooler. Anyway, it's 1-0 to the Switchbacks at halftime here from the desert. And let's look at what is to come for Phoenix Rising. You asked Juan Guerra this week how important of a stretch this is. He echoed those sentiments, and there's some big opponents upcoming.
He also said it's my favorite stretch of this season. He looked at his schedule and highlighted every single one of these games. You go to Sacramento Republic, you go to Monterey Bay, and then you welcome the defending champions and El Paso Locomotive. Those 4 above you in the Western Conference. So what does that look like in terms of picking up points especially? But it starts here in this next 45 minutes.
Of course, because the next 2 are on the road and both on short rest. On the other side for the Switchbacks, they'll have a chance to avenge that 5-0 loss next Sunday at San Diego to start.
And Stephen Hogan was quick to point out that the boys are already flipping the page and looking at San Diego, and then you welcome Birmingham, you welcome FC Tulsa and Monterey Bay. So again, you're playing teams that are in and around that playoff line in the Western Conference. Massive portion of this Colorado Switchbacks schedule here.
A lot of 6-pointers upcoming for both of these teams. It is halftime here from Phoenix. It is 1-0 to Colorado Springs.
How you doing?
How's it going? Good to see you.
I see you watching SpongeBob. You like that show?
I have a question.
What's up?
Oh, perfect.
Do you guys know Cristiano Ronaldo?
We know who he is, but we don't know him personally.
Yeah.
Is that your favorite soccer player?
Perfect.
Okay. Get in there. Oh yeah. Woo. Ready? There you go.
And my day so much. I'm so happy. I got to play pool with them, got to meet them. I got the signed scarf, of course. The glasses. The scarf that got signed is like the best thing ever. And I'm like pretty much happy for everything. It really made my day. Because at first whenever I heard it, I was like, okay, you know, I'm just thinking we would talk to them and we would play pool and then, you know.
I thought they were going to be in a robot.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. And then I'm like, oh my God, they're coming to me. And then I get a signed scarf and I'm like, let's just have a better day. Why not?
Halftime here from Phoenix Rising Stadium, 38th Street in Washington. The Switchbacks lead it by a goal to nil. Can they hold on the second half? It's coming up soon.
Are you ready? Ready for more of the game you love? Ready for more players and more teams? Ready for more stadiums, for more fans in more cities? This is a different league. The USL Super League. Built for the future of women's soccer. Bridging the journey from youth to pro, connected to the global game, and bringing it all closer to home. Are you ready?
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Rising is home. Join Arizona's only professional soccer club as it goes head-to-head with San Antonio FC at the team's new home. Right here in Central Phoenix off 38th Street in Washington. Saturday, August 5th at 7:30. Tickets to the match start at $25, and the two-time Western Conference champions are just 5 stops on the Valley Metro to Phoenix and Tempe. Visit phxrisingfc.com or call 623-594-9606 for more information.
Staying hydrated on a warm night here from the desert. It's 1-0 in favor of the Colorado Springs Switchbacks. It'll need to be a comeback come the second half for the home side. Phoenix Rising here tonight. It has been a busy night in the USL Championship. News and notes from around the league, and of course, the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. They had been on a really long unbeaten run, but it has come to an end here tonight. A 3-1 loss to the Charleston Battery as we look at the Western Conference standings. And we've been talking about it quite a lot with Phoenix and all these teams right around that playoff mark.
I think if you're Juan Guerra, this next 45 minutes is going to be extremely important as you progress towards that meet of your schedule. We talked about it because I think Juan Guerra understands that if we can pick up points here, we're going to get confidence after losing against Miami. We need confidence. We need rhythm. So again, it's like 45 minutes is going to be massive in terms of just the mentality going forward for Phoenix Rising.
It's interesting. Colorado Springs came in on 28 points. That is now the playoff line. And they have, of course, these are live. They've moved up to 31. Look at the scoreboard. I think the one that surprises me the most, well, 2 of the top teams in the West go down tonight.
I think Orange County going to Memphis 4-3. A lot of goals in that one. Detroit City taking down Monterey Bay, but yeah, very interesting. New Mexico taking down Mark Briggs in Sacramento Republic, and Miami FC, we talked about them maybe turning the page. The last couple results have gone in their favor.
And of course, Sacramento will go home and face Phoenix on Wednesday. Well, Wednesday's in a few days. Phoenix has some work to do here in the second half. Second half next.
Equality Health is giving doctors more time to be doctors, so they can give you the care you deserve. Ask if your doctor is part of the Equality Health Network today. Equality Health. Caring is back.
Who do you want to be? Where do you want to go? How fast do you want to get there? At Gateway Community College, you can achieve a career that takes you places in less time and for less money. Opportunity is not just for the select few. Living better is for everyone. Let us help you discover your future.
Join Arizona's only professional soccer club as it goes head-to-head with San Antonio FC at the team's new home. Visit phxrisingfc.com or call 623-594-9606 for ticket information.
Tonight's broadcast of Phoenix Rising FC is presented by Carvana, will drive you happy, NAU Nationwide, and by Equality Health. Looking back at the first half, Phoenix and Colorado Springs. We start things off in the 11th minute, and giveaway in the midfield turned in a transition chance.
And we're going to see a lot of this from Phoenix Rising, just not clean enough in terms of connecting their passes between lines. And Enriquez picks up his head, sees Rios Novo one. You just see the movement on that ball, not enough dip on it, but that's a warning sign. As set pieces, we're going to be massive in terms of can you capitalize on them. Grotzman makes that near post run, just so unlucky not to flick it on into a dangerous area.
Close call there, and then the chances would really start to come for the Switchbacks. This a great chance as it would come for Speedy Williams.
But again, picking and choosing your times when to be creative, but never so deep in your defensive half. Speedy Williams creates his own space. Manjoma overcommits, but you just start to see the balance even on the follow through, spinning and turning. But Speedy Williams was massive, picking and choosing his times when to go forward, but also when to slow the game down. And there's a reason why he's had the career in terms of the experience essentially for the Switchbacks.
And then the goal, and just a tough moment here for Phoenix. A giveaway, and Juan Tejada gets his second for the Switchbacks.
And it's just casual from Crutzen, just tries to play a square ball. Tejada reads it the whole way, but take nothing away from this finish. To create your own space, as he understands, Anguiano overcommits. There's no one rotating over that long touch out of his body, and then he closes up his hips at the last second. And that's why you go out and give him to produce that little bit of individual brilliance, and that's a difference as we walk into halftime.
Well, it's no surprise that Phoenix has the possession advantage, but nothing to test the goalkeeper.
0 shots on target. That's something that if you're Juan Guerra, you're not going to see that and be kind to your boys. You want a reaction out of them. You want them to raise the level in terms of quality, in terms of intensiveness, and also just in terms of decision making. You don't shoot, you don't score. You need to be better in that final third. And for the Switchbacks, how compact can you be defensively in this next 45 minutes and try to catch out Phoenix Rising in transition moments through Malik Foster?
As we welcome you back here, Phoenix Rising Stadium, 38th Street in Washington with Ricky Lopez-Espin. I'm Josh Eastern. Thanks so much for joining us. A couple of late games in the USL Championship, Las Vegas and Hartford. And then right here, Phoenix and Colorado Springs. Well, the Switchbacks have led 6 times this year at halftime. They have won all 6 of those games. As for Phoenix, when they've trailed at halftime this year, it's been on 4 occasions. They have just 1 point from those 4 matches. We'll see what the second half brings. Phoenix, we mentioned, a crucial match. They could be 3 points out of the playoff picture with the loss here tonight based on other results around the league. But with a few games in hand and, of course, plenty of games coming this week, they'll have chances to recover, but both of those games on the road. A massive 45 minutes here for Phoenix Rising. I guess the same can be said for the Switchbacks as well. Maybe not as much pressure on them now since they're playing from in front here tonight. A chance to keep working their way up that Western Conference. Remember, they only have 1 draw this season. When you lose a game 5-0, you're always looking for a response. I think we've gotten it tonight from the Switchbacks.
But it's been more of a controlled response. Picking and choosing their times when to be transitional, but also comfortable in terms of absorbing pressure. Start to see your screen, look at every single player about 35 yards from their goal, making life very difficult and frustrating this Phoenix Rising side.
Trejo, Traore. Deflects towards the top of the area, and it's whipped in there by Crutzen. And I think that went all the way over the bleachers behind the goal as well.
These areas of the field for Phoenix Rising, they need to be a bit better beating that first initial defender. And as this ball pops out, Crutzen talked about how special the left foot that he has. If you get that on target, it's asking a lot of questions of Kuzminski.
Lambert on the chase. For Rios Novo is a hot one to handle there. Too hot to handle, and it's out for a throw into Colorado Springs. Whipped in, diving header. Fjellberg did well just to get down for that one. It's out wide for a goal kick. Great effort.
I don't know if he went down or thought he got drawn down by Traore. A little bit of jawing after the fact between the 2 players.
Traore recovers well. Here's Anguiano. Fjellberg's down behind the play. That was slid ahead for Manjoma. Fjellberg goes down again. This is played now by Rios Novo. Okay to continue on. Trejo. Fjellberg has gone down again. This ball goes out of play. The referee will stop things here. Let's go back and look at this last chance for the Switchbacks, and maybe this is what led to the injury.
See, barking for the point to the spot. There's not enough in there.
may have gone down himself, just tripped over his foot.
Hopefully he's okay, because he's a massive part of what Stephen Hogan likes to do going forward. Such a creative player, so comfortable in the spaces that he picks up, with the ball at his feet as well. And that man is not happy.
I think that man's a little bit more happy.
With the same message for Juan Guerra and Phoenix Rising too many times, especially Zambrano picks up his head essentially, just tries to play a home run ball. This back line for the Switchbacks are winning every single individual aerial duel, going back the other way. So again, playing off the shoulder of your opposition, getting the ball in the half turn, and quick movements, and decisive movements is the way that Phoenix Rising is going to claw themselves back into this game. For the Switchbacks, so far so good, especially it's coming out of the break 5 minutes in. It's been Shane Beckford looking like he's going to come in and he can change the complexion of this game with one single run, how explosive he can be.
It does look like Beckford will be that man coming on, and it will be for Jonas Fjellberg. Norwegian will be coming off. Jamaican Beckford comes on. A goal and 4 assists this year for Beckford. His second season with the Switchbacks after he spent 2021 with the club. Last year, though, was with San Antonio.
Different look going forward now. You have Beckford on that right side. Foster playing centrally, just burners, ability to stretch this game open and run in behind. Fjellberg was a player that wants the ball to feet, wants to come and combine. Shane Beckford wants to isolate his individual defender and take him on to the byline, cause havoc.
With how transitional this game has been for the Switchbacks, this might suit them even better. Not that Fjellberg couldn't do that, but Beckford, he brings a different level of pace. Guiano trying to keep it, gives it right away. Cut that infield. Chapman. Traore. There's Trejo. Just one shot on target in this game. And of course, is the one that went in the back of the net. Sometimes that's just how it works, and that's another giveaway. Fans, be sure to visit your local Arizona Financial Credit Union branch. Get your Phoenix Rising debit card. It's a great way to support the team and spread the word. Visit arizonafinancial.org. Traore gonna whip this in. This is straight out of play. Phoenix just searching right now.
Play a simple ball. You have Danny Trejo unmarked on the edge of his 18-yard box. Traore just doesn't get his hips around it, doesn't get enough whip on it. Not clean enough in terms of the quality for Phoenix Rising.
You look at the passing stats, just overall passing accuracy for Phoenix at 87%, but we've seen a lot of giveaways in crucial areas which have turned into good opportunities going the other way for the Switchbacks.
It's turned into the goal as well. Not clean enough. That man Crutzen is a bit casual.
Gundrich. Here's Beckford. It's poked free. Arteaga. Wasn't quite what they were looking for. Roll all the way out for a goal kick. Will be interesting to see when Juan Guerra decides to go to his bench. Carlos Harvey's been a regular starter for this team. Emil Cuello, who's still working his way back from injury. Of course, Fede Varela, Darnell King, Fuenmayor. All options tonight. Gabby Torres as well. Of course, Juan Guerra, a lot to balance with the game coming Wednesday, and then after that, the next Saturday as well. Both those games away from home. Stay in Northern California. Both of those, Sacramento and then Monterey Bay. And you know Monterey Bay will want to try to get back in the win column. Same thing with Sacramento. So a couple of hungry teams upcoming. Phoenix could also be pretty hungry if they can't come back in this one. Lifted in behind, and Kuzminski was just quick enough to beat Gallardo to that ball.
Trying to find these passes all night, Zambrano. He needs to be inch perfect with how deep the switchbacks are sitting. Give credit to Kuzminski. Quick off his line, gets her right before Gallardo.
It's nice when you can have an experienced goalkeeper like Joe Kuzminski kind of waiting in the wings, if you will. Of course, Christian Herrera has been the favored starting goalkeeper. It's going to be a substitution coming here for Phoenix. And it will be Carlos Anguiano coming off the field in favor of Carlos Harvey. Just didn't quite work out for Anguiano tonight. He also picked up a yellow card, and Harvey and Zambrano have been pretty much the favored midfield two throughout the entire season. Had about 30 minutes here together tonight. Gallardo trying to go end line, and didn't work out either.
You have to give credit to how good defensively the switchbacks have been. Whether it is Musa on that far side, Tejada dropping down, doing his defensive duties. Gallardo is so dynamic, especially 1v1. The ability to go to the end line, but also to cut in and combine. There's been none of that just with how compact and how good in terms of their positioning the switchbacks have been on their defensive front. We're going back to Harvey and Zambrano. I think Harvey just gives a different look, essentially. Gives you the ability to beat players 1v1, that extra power in the deep line position, the trailing run. So he's going to be massive if Phoenix Rising have any hopes to pick up points here.
Trying to head this towards the end line. Enriquez battling there with Lambert, who was last off. Jairo Enriquez. Here's Trejo. Or Traore cuts it back. Trying to put in a dangerous area. Zambrano for Harvey. Looking for options, lofting it forward again. Trejo pointing for a corner kick, and he's not going to get it. When you get that look from Juan, you know you're in trouble.
This is the first hydration break of the second half.
Let's take a look at this again.
The break will last up to 1 minute.
Yeah, it comes off Switchbacks.
I think there is an argument for Phoenix Rising. Agron rises up. It's a back part of his head.
Another hydration break here, first of this second half, gives us a chance to tell you that when it comes to a sports injury, the unknown can be unsettling, but there's one thing that can calm that uncertainty: an answer. Mayo Clinic uncovers answers every day through exploration, teamwork, and innovation. Answers that can lead to more answers and define a path forward. So if you're looking for answers related to a sports injury, you know where to go. Learn more at sportsmedicine.mayoclinic.org. If anything, in these first 15 minutes of the second half, Phoenix have just a tick more of possession. They are still searching for more opportunities. No shots so far, pardon me, one shot in the second half. None for the Switchbacks. Pretty much been played in between the boxes so far.
Games are won once you join that final third, once you get into that attacking phase of your game model. I think for Phoenix Rising, it comes down to spacing, especially for Armenakis, Trejo, and Arteaga. You need to pop off Arteaga off the line, maybe draw out a center back, and then it's all about selflessness. Make your runs to open up gaps for other players. Danny Trejo, Armenakis, they want the ball to feet. And that's so easy for Agron and Mahoney just to step off and close down the space. If you can bring in Arteaga and have a three-man combination in terms of movement, in terms of weaveness, playing around the corner, there's some success to be had. It's a lot of credit to Stephen Hogan and this visiting side.
Quick turnover, it's to Shane Beckford. Beckford off the post! A near second goal for the Switchbacks, and they're still on the attack. Flipped forward, I believe Skundrich was in an offside position. Boy, Phoenix almost got caught out again. Harvey. Oh, that's a great ball in behind. Gallardo latches onto it. Numbers streaming forward. It's headed away. And Tejada beats Harvey to it. Two Panamanians on the field. And this game all of a sudden quite open. And how about trying to catch Rios Novo off his line again? Only at about one step onto that shot. Enriquez really going for it though. You scored from midfield?
I have.
Oh, really? Oh. So you know what you're looking for. Here's Trejo. Malik Foster trying to turn the corner, shut down by Crutzen. Arteaga has it picked off. And here's Juan Tejada running in pretty much alone. Foster up ahead, and Crutzen stepped in once again.
Back-to-back, really good defending plays from Crutzen. His positioning.
Armenakis.
Exactly what I'm talking about. As Armenakis picks up his head, there's no movement. Needs to put his foot on this ball and circulate it, and now that gives the time and space for the Switchbacks just to drop in their defensive structure.
Harvey. It's wide. Out for a goal kick. Let's go back and look at Shane Beckford, really the first big impact he's had since coming on.
But it's too easy, Josh, just to come out the other way for the Switchbacks. His first touch is a bit loose. Priori not strong enough in the challenge, but you're asking for quality and composure there from Shane Beckford. You pick up a corner, you don't need to hit it hard, you just need to have right placement. He likes to hit it too hard, swings at it, and just pulls it. That's why he hits the wrong side of the woodwork.
See Fede Varela coming onto the field now for Phoenix, replacing Erickson Gallardo. Just looking for something new in that attack, as Beckford does well to keep this in play. He'll get a corner kick out of it as well. Very well done there by Beckford.
And he's been really good since coming on, just staying high and wide, putting a lot of pressure on Traore in terms of his decision making. Really stay compact as you go out, confront Beckford. Enriquez has been very good at understanding as well. That extra pass that led to that Beckford opportunity. He draws in Traore, the timing, the right amount of weight. It's that first touch from the sub that just lets him down.
Enriquez delivers. The header coming on is looping out of play. The best play on a new Ford is at Sanderson Ford, Arizona's largest Ford dealership. Lay this off. Manjoma. Picked up again. Manjoma for Trejo. Traore's there on the overlap. It's deflecting out of play. Or no, that went straight out of play. No deflection on it. Goal kick. Player down here for Colorado Springs. That's James Musa, who is down. He's focusing on that right leg.
And it's the right idea here from Danny Trejo. As he peeks over his shoulder, he lets Traore come around the corner. We talk about the relationship defensively for the Switchbacks. Shane Beckford confronts the ball. That gives the real estate for Drew Skundrich to come out and close down the space, and it's a missed hit from Traore. But little things like that are so important in seeing out a game, especially when you're on the road. So if you're Stephen Hogan, you have to be so pleased with just the effort from your boys.
Looks like a couple of subs in the offing here. Patrick Segrist is preparing to come on. Steven Echeverria looks like the other. That might be the end of the day for James Musa as this goal kick just goes straight out of play. They want to take these subs now. First two subs of the game for Colorado Springs. Looks like Jay Chapman be one of those coming off. Echeverria replace him. James Musa will be the other, with Patrick Segrist coming on. He got the start in the last game. Last year with Memphis, the year before that with Indy 11. First year with the Switchbacks for Segrist. This one curling in. Traore for Varela. It runs out of play. They've been looking for that pass all night. Hasn't quite come off.
And those are the spaces that you want your central midfielders to take up, right off the shoulder of Speedy Williams. That's a bit lighter in terms of just the weight. It's causing all sorts of problems between the Switchbacks back line. All about creating overloads. When you get on top of that 18-yard box, try to pull out a center back, try to drop in Speedy Williams to create little gaps and openings. That's when you start to form those triangles, and that hasn't been enough for Phoenix Rising.
Trejo. Crutzen up over the top. Trejo's onto it, just lofting it into the box. Harvey battling for it. He was brought down by Enriquez. And it's a free kick upcoming. Just be a talking to, or will there be color associated with that foul?
Just all over Harvey. And then it's a secondary action on the backside, this whooping motion that catches him. Yes, it's a lot of the ball, but also a lot of the player.
Referee put up 4 fingers. I've never seen that before. I thought it was 3 strikes and you're out and you're gonna get a card. I mean, what are we doing?
USL After Dark,
Yeah,
Josh. You never know what you see.
Yeah, you're right about that. Chance to maybe hit this from distance. Fenny Varela is standing over it. We'll send this in for Crutzen. Varela. Trejo. Here's Crutzen. Rolls it back in. Varela stands it up to the back post. It was too far for Arteaga.
He's found some really nice spots since coming on the field, Fede Varela. As this back line of the Switchbacks are dropping deep, he understands if I just hold my ground, there's going to be a pocket of space. But what do I do when I get the ball? Receives the ball and his body and his hips are closed. That's why he has to slough it into that back post. If he receives that ball facing forward, it gives him a lot of better angle, a lot of more options going forward.
And there's the yellow card. It goes to Steven Echeverria, who just came onto the field.
Not what you want from a sub just coming through the backside of Harvey. He's been beat up since coming on the field.
Traore. Rolled in, completely dealt with. There's Traore, keeps it alive. Zambrano deflected. This will carry him out for a corner. It's a Carvana corner kick upcoming. The crowd trying to urge Phoenix on here. In-swinger, right towards the top of the 6 and saved off the line. Malik Foster, right place, right time. And he keeps the Switchbacks in front as it comes back in. Surely would have been 1-1. Now it's Varela. In-swinger again, Kuzminski collects. That is a massive moment in this game.
Just comes around the corner here. Carlos Harvey just beats his individual mark. Malik Foster, talk about being positioned to perfection, playing like a second goalkeeper, denies that man the equalizer.
That's why you put a man on the near post, right? Moments like that, it pays off for the Switchbacks. And they go on and find a second, find some insurance. rolled along. He's a bit behind the intended target. Looking for Enriquez. Great skill shown by Armanakis, and then he's taken off the ball. Speedy Williams, Malik Foster out of play. We will have another hydration break here with 15 minutes to go.
This is the second hydration break of the second half.
Join Arizona's only professional soccer club as it goes head-to-head with San Antonio FC at the team's new home. Visit phxrisingfc.com or call 623-594-9606 for ticket information.
Hydration break here in Phoenix. So if you're just joining us, let's take a look at how we got to this point. Only one goal in this game. Phoenix, as they like to do, they like to play out of the back, but this one, a loose ball.
And when it's a cagey affair, you're asking for someone to produce an individual piece of magic, but it's this touch right there that sets him up. As Angriano overcommits, he understands there's going to be real estate into the interior. He gets his hips, he gets his body right around it and just closes them at the last second. That's why you start to see the bend and the English on this ball. But we talked about him with Stephen Hogan. While you go out and get Wanzahad for moments like this, he just gives you the energy, he gives you the quality, and he gives you something.
You ready for 90s night in a few weeks, Ricky?
I'm gonna get my dancing shoes, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
You get a pair of the shoes that Juan Gary's wearing. That's a nice Adidas.
Shout out. That's part of this match. Phoenix looking to at least salvage one goal in this game. Trejo cuts it back. Nobody there at the top of the box. Farella, as Foster went down. Harvey. Spray it off to the far side. Armanakis looking for that angle again. It's not coming for Phoenix. You've been mentioning it though, the game plan for Colorado Springs seems like they played it to a T so far, and it's really working.
It's interesting because defensively, so compact, not over 25 yards from front to back between Agrin, Mahoney, to Foster leading the line. But I've been so impressed with the recovery runs, especially from the central area. Echeverria, I know he just came on, but also Speedy Williams. The ability to track runners, whether it is a Danny Trejo, whether it is a Carlos Harvey, whether it is a Zambrano, that's been the massive difference for the switchback side.
Joma moves it out wide. This ball whipped in. Harvey was lunging for it. He couldn't get there. All the way back to Rios Novo.
We talk about it, Josh. With this Phoenix Rising side, they want to create overload, especially on wide areas. So that puts a lot of emphasis on the decision making. Watch out.
Varela. It was a kind deflection. Oh my! Over the top. Benny Varela. But is this going to count? Hold everything. This wonder goal may not see the scoreboard. And it will not. No goal. And a yellow card will be coming to somebody. Looks like to Stephen Hogan. Regardless whether this counts, what an effort.
Ball gets dumped into a dangerous area, but talk about the movement from Arteaga. Everyone thinks he's gonna flick it on, but he plays it centrally. I'll be honest, Josh, I do not see a handball here. Maybe when Agren tries to clear it into Varela, an extension of the shoulder, that's what we see from the referee. On second glance, I think that is extremely harsh.
That's the end of the day for Jairo Enriquez. Aaron Wheeler will come on. Wheeler almost exclusively comes off the bench. Actually, not almost exclusively, all exclusively, as Tyreek McGee has also come onto the field. The 18th time that Wheeler has come off the bench this season. All 18 of his appearances coming off the bench. Let's take a look at this one more time.
There's no handball there.
It's off his shoulder.
I think it's off his shoulder. I think that's a harsh call to call that goal back. To be honest, I thought there'd be more of retaliation from Varela as well. Can't really argue. That's something we don't see at this day and age. Players not arguing calls. Great ball.
Just shut down. All 5 subs have now been used by Colorado Springs. Just 2 have been used by Phoenix tonight. 2 more are coming. Gabby Torres, Emil Cuejo. These will be the last 2 subs of the night. Looks like Mo Traore will be one of those players coming off the field. Panos Armanakis will be coming off as well. Both teams out of substitutions now. Torres 3 assists this year, Cuejo 1 assist. Torres curling this in. I guess if you don't mention the center backs too much, it means it's a good game, but let's mention them. Mahoney and Agren, they've been having to deal with quite a few crosses, and they've done a magnificent job through 83 minutes.
I was about to mention, yes, the hard work centrally in the midfield for the Switchbacks, but also how good have they been in the air. Every single ball has been pumped into a dangerous area, first to rise and clear their lines. Watch out.
That's going to be a foul. Manjoma cut down. Free kick coming. And a yellow card to Juan Tejada, tonight's goal scorer.
Start to feel a little bit of different intensity now for Phoenix Rising. Manjoma knows exactly what he's going to do. Sets up Tejada, squares the hips, and as he does that, dead man, long touch, lunges in, feels the contact, and now it's a very tricky situation here if you're Kuzminski, because you aim for that far post. The traffic that's oncoming, easily squeak into that far post.
Torres is off the one man standing between him and the goal. Gabby Torres pushed over again, or pardon me, that's Cuejo. And it's going to be another set piece coming.
This touch here from Cuello is just so good. Cuts down the angle. Like he needs to make a decision. It's either the ball or the player.
Emil Cuello once again. Cuello put it into traffic, and this cleared away. Lofted forward again. Flick towards the end line. Should be a corner kick for Phoenix. Indeed it is. Carvana corner kick. Varela, the in-swingers, the heads go up. Cuello tracks it down. Cuello gets the cross away. It's Lambert who is there, still loose, deflecting and out of play. Brave defending from the switchbacks. It's another corner. Juan Guerra might be asking for a handball here.
That look says it all. But Cuello's been so good since coming on. We'll say. Body's flying.
Tough to tell for certain. Another corner. Back post this time over everybody's head, but Cuello will keep it alive. Zambrano for Cuello. Cuello trying to go low, it's blocked. Rios Novo's the last man back. Phoenix throwing everything forward. There's still 3 minutes to go, plus stoppage time. This will go out of play. Torres cut down. Phoenix just want to get on with it quick, and they will. Harvey trying to weave through. Bodies hit the deck, and this will go against Phoenix. The foul's against Carlos Harvey.
Just side swipes. Aaron Wheeler, I think it's Speedy Williams that initiates a contact that throws Carlos Harvey into the sub here.
Varela, smooth flick for Trejo. Trying to pick out Arteaga. It's put out a play for another corner kick. It's really starting to add up now for Phoenix. This will be the 9th of the night. Carvana corner kick. Heads go up again, this one down, and it's finally in! This one will count! It's Danny Trejo, and Phoenix have it level at 1!
We talked about how important set pieces have to be when things aren't going through the fluidity of the game. You hang around the barbershop long enough, Josh, you're gonna get a haircut. as Danny Trejo hangs around this near post. Give credit to Arteaga, rises up and puts it into a dangerous area. And Danny Trejo makes no mistake about the finish. Phoenix Rising, they get their goal in the 90th minute to draw even here.
This goal brought to you by Gateway Community College. We are in 7 minutes of stoppage time. Not done yet. Moved out wide. Beckford plays it in field. Tyreek McGee blocked down. A frantic finish here in Phoenix. This is out of play. It's a corner kick. We have a moment. You can score your new career at Gateway Community College. With Gateway, you can achieve your dream career in less time and for less money. Get started at gatewaycc.edu. Trejo's 8th of the season. Now the outswinger. Headed away by Crutzen on the run. Beckford. Oh, Beckford. Deshane Beckford. It's taken in by Rios Novo. How about that skill? And now all the way downfield. Akron got his head to it. This will bounce out. It's a Phoenix throw-in. Both these teams leaving it all out there tonight. Here's Manjoma. Blocked down. Was that a handball? It was not. It's a corner kick instead. The 10th corner of the match. This one's keeping you up. USL After Dark in full effect. Cuejo. The in-swinger, headed away by Wheeler. Zambrano. Cuejo. Phoenix have dominated the last 7 or so minutes. There was a great chance, though, for Colorado Springs just a few moments ago. Now as Torres delivers, it's too close to Kuzminski. Back the other way, Tejada, and this is an opportunity. Skundrich, Tejada settles, saved! Rios Novo keeps the result alive for Phoenix, and now here they come. Harvey for Trejo. Danny Trejo couldn't keep it, still alive. Trejo out of play. What a save for Rios Novo. And we still have 4 minutes to go. Look at all that space to exploit. Beckford, options in the middle. Deshane Beckford tries to cut it back. Tejada over the bar. 2 A+ chances, and he can't put it away.
Beckford does everything right here, sets up his defender, but as they're retreating, he knows this cutback ball is on. But if you're Tejada, you're gonna want this one back. That's just heavy legs. 94th minute, you're leaning back, you're lunging at this ball. If you get your hips around it, and you hit it back across where it came from, you have your brace on the night. See the frustration on the young man's face. He knows he should do better, he could do better.
Guerra has gotten a yellow card as well, we're being told. Trejo trying to weave through. Is there a winner in this game? Boy, what a great ending to this. Sent in again, headed away. It'll be an 11th Phoenix Carvana corner kick. Cuejo Lambert rises up. He cues it the wrong way. Phoenix trailed in this game by 1-0. Juan Tejada had that first goal just before halftime. Trejo, a 90th minute equalizer. And now less than 2 minutes to go. Is there one more in this? Touched in field, the shot comes on and blocked. Matt Mahoney. And now Beckford motoring the other way. Deshane Beckford with Rios Novo out of his goal. Beckford cuts it in. Beckford has it blocked. Echeverria. Here's Juan Tejada. Tejada thinks twice, rolls it in field. The shot dribbling towards Rios Novo, and he takes it. Is there one more chance for Phoenix into the final minute? Arteaga. Almost nothing for him in this game tonight. He's saying the ball was rolling. And a yellow card to Manuel Arteaga.
This game has woken up, gone to a completely different gear. Both coaches dip into their bench and the quality rises, but also the energy, ability to get on the end of things for both sides, just the inability to have that final action, that final bit of quality from that man, from Tejada, on the other side. Danny Trejo. It took about 94 minutes for both of these teams to really express themselves once they get to that final third.
And meanwhile, these players going up and down, it is so hot. Credit to physical, how fit they are. Here's Torres. It's one more corner kick for Phoenix. We're through the minimum of 7 minutes. Could this be it? Another Carvana corner kick, and maybe the last action of the night. Phoenix scored from a corner kick in the 90th minute. Can they do it in the 98th? Varela delivers. Punched away by Kuzminski, but not all the way out. Shot fired over. And that is it. Boy, what an effort from both of these teams in stoppage time, but it finishes a goal apiece and a point apiece. What a spectacle. And two managers that respect each other a ton.
Take a deep breath.
Oh, I need to.
100 miles an hour to end this thing out. But if you talk about game plan for the Switchbacks, compact defensively, try to catch out in transition and play in behind this line for Phoenix Rising. For Phoenix Rising, for Juan Guerra, you have to be extremely pleased, just not about the quality, but the never say die attitude. To fight to the 90th minute, to get you a lot of numbers in around that 18-yard box and get your deserved equalizer. What a fantastic matchup we had in the second half.
Well, there was so much happening, we didn't really get a chance to look back on many of these, but let's take a look at tonight's save of the match presented by Truly Nolan. Rios Novo, massive. That was the first one. There was still one more in stoppage time.
We're talking about this move from Deshane Beckford, quick around the corner. But Rios Novo, without him between the sticks, Phoenix Rising, you're looking at 0 points taken from this game, and none bigger than this one. The extra pass from Skundrich as he draws it in his defender. If you're Tejada, you pick a corner, but talk about the reaction to make yourself big, to get down to your left-hand side quick enough for Rios Novo. None bigger than this save here.
Tejada, he did score the goal, but he had a chance twice to win this game. And Rios Novo, a big save at the end. We'll come back, we'll try to make sense of it all. It finishes full time from Phoenix. Phoenix Rising 1, Colorado Springs 1.
Sanderson Ford gives back. They support local sports.
They support local businesses, restaurants, and music.
Y organizaciones en nuestra comunidad latina.
My favorite event is Operation Santa Claus.
And mine is the Cave Creek Rodeo.
I love participating in the Guardian Games with my son Evan for Special Olympics Arizona.
Your business has allowed Sanderson Charities to give back to all these local charities. We've been paying it forward for 68 years. Thank you.
Hey, Rising fans, spring is in the air and Circle K has what you thirst for. Stay cool with our famous Polar Pop Cups that stay cold longer. Fill your cup with your favorite flavor or mix it up to create your own. Or try our freshly ground iced coffee starting at just $1.89. While you're here, mix and match any 2 roller grill items, just 2 for $4. Check out these hot deals and cool down at Circle K, America's thirst stop and proud sponsor of Phoenix Rising.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a year old or a few years old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana, enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
Wrapping things up here from Phoenix Rising Stadium at 38th Street in Washington. Phoenix Rising 1, Colorado Springs 1. Probably deserved result for both sides. As we look back at this one, right before halftime, this is when the game changed. Giveaway at the back, and it's the first goal for Juan Tejada.
Yeah, just sloppy and just too casual for Crutzen in this back line. But this touch right here from Tejada, he knows exactly what he's doing. He sets himself up extremely nice. We talked about him with Stephen Hogan. He says, look, he just gives you quality, especially in that final third. Hasn't got the run of games that he probably deserves, but none bigger than this. What a terrific strike that was.
62nd minute, things would get interesting. Great move there by Chapman, and an almost second goal here to Shane Beckford was great.
Changing the point of attack for the Switchbacks was going to be massive in tonight's content, but it's just too easy to break through lines for Phoenix Rising, and if you're Trier, you need to be stronger in this challenge. To Shane Beckford, if you have a bit of composure, take a little bit off the weight and just find the corner. It's 2-0 for the Switchbacks at this point in time.
Could have been 2-0, also could have been 1-1 a lot earlier, saved off the line.
And Foster just massive on the attacking phase, but understands the assignment to staying around that near post. And as Carlos Harvey just comes around the corner, beats his individual mark, terrific defensive play.
80th minute, we thought this was the first goal for Phoenix, and what a spectacular one it was, but a handball.
Called back for the extension of the shoulder, question mark for Fede Varela. As Akron tries to clear this ball, it comes back into the sub, but take what a fantastic finish. The body control, the skillfulness, and if it does not count, head scratcher for Wangera.
And this was the goal for Phoenix, Trejo's 8th of the season.
Give credit to Arteaga to get his 4th assist on the year, heads it back into Daniel Steyer, and his strike partners hanging around that near post. What a quality finish up into the roof. There's no stopping that.
And then we got to stoppage time, and it was just chaos. And this was the first big opportunity, or pardon me, the second big chance. Big save for Rios Novo.
To give credit to Scudgers, he draws in Zambrano, and as he does that, it's the timing and it's the weight of the ball. As Tejada continues his run, great for such, but if you pick a corner, if you find that far post, you have your brace and you have all 3 points in your pocket. But Rios Novo, massive save.
Hilarious, the amount of shots, and then the amount of shots on target. It just felt like it was total chaos at the end.
This game is won in between the 18-yard box defensively and offensively. And to be fair, if you're Phoenix Rising, didn't have enough quality on the day that Wangere would expect with the talent that he has on his roster. But for the Switchbacks, you get a point out of this, and you talk about the game plan, defensively compact, so good at winning your individual duels. Just one lapse, you get conceded on. But again, on the attacking phase, you talk about Louis Foster, Shane Beckford, players that have came into this game and really made it different. Tejada was terrific. So if you're Stephen Hogan, there's a lot to build from this performance.
And they'll get Romario Williams back. Just the second draw of the year for the Switchbacks. Phoenix maybe thought they could have won it. I think the same could be said for the Switchbacks in the end. It's a point apiece for these two Western Conference rivals. That'll do it for our coverage tonight from Phoenix. For our entire crew and broadcast partner, Ricky Lopez-Espin, I'm Josh Eastern saying so long. We'll talk to you on Wednesday night from Sacramento. It finishes Phoenix 1, Colorado Springs 1. Good night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.